Let's pick it up where we left yesterday. So yesterday we had seen that we were able to perform privilege escalation to a point where I was able to get to another user from Alice. And we had also looked at a potential privilege escalation vector to escalate privileges even further. So today we are going to see how we can actually exploit that. Let me just share the screen. And, all right. So for a quick recap of what we did yesterday, you log in as Alice. Sudo -l tells us that we can run this command. Now within this Alice directory, I'm creating a Python file random.py based on what we've seen. Import bty. Next line. Exit, save, yes. Make it executable. And then we are going to run this command. So -u rabbit. Run this. Now I change to that rabbit user. And we have this p-party file. Actually, if you go to the rabbit users directory, there will find the p-party file. And when we ran it, we saw that this is the kind of thing that we were getting. We analyzed it as well. And what we see now is that Dave uses date command without specifying the complete path. So I'm going to exploit this. Now I will be going to the temp directory and making a file there. To temp. Nano again, I'll just date. And I'll just say bin bash. Okay. So today we are going to see how to exploit this. So bin bash. Just this is what I'm going to write because all I need is a shell. I'm going to write a state. I need to make this executable as well. Okay. Okay, so it should be executable now. Now I need to modify the value of the path variable to add the stem directory to the beginning of that variable. Okay, like I said yesterday. So the way to do that is, now before you edit the path variable, it's always good to have it on the screen in front of you in case something goes wrong, so you can just copy paste this path again. Now what I'm going to do is export path is equal to, I'm going to add temp to the beginning. paste it after there. So, is equal to, and I'm going to add the temp directory to the beginning of the path variable. Temp dollar path. Now if I go to the path variable, I can see that the temp directory has been added to the beginning of the path variable. If I go back to my home directory now, for some reason it takes that as to Alice proceed, you're not logged in by SSH, so it still considers Alice as the home Alice's directory as well. So now come back to Rabbit users home directory and it's file now. Now see what has happened here. Welcome to the tea party. The Mad Hatter will be here soon, probably by, and probably by what follows probably by is the date command. But now, since we've added temp directory to the beginning of the path variable, when it encounters the date option, it looks at the path, goes to temp, sees the file called date that we've created, and when it sees that file, it runs it and says that all that file includes is just bin bash. So we get a shell. So after that, bin bash, so we get access to a Hatter account now. Let's go to the Hatter's one directory. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so other than the normal system files, we just have this password.txt file. So it's a password file, right? So I'll take a look at what it is. Simply I'll just cat it out. So password.txt. So this is the password for this account. For the Hatter account, this is the password. That means I can try to log into this account using SSH, and next time if I want to log into this machine, I can directly log into Hatter without going through the previous two privilege escalations of first logging as Alice, then escalating to Robert, then escalating to Hatter. Okay, so now what I'll do is, let's say I just let out exit. So exit brings me back to the last command. That takes me back to Alice. This final exit will take me back to my system. Instead of Alice, I can just write Hatter since I have the password. And I'm logged into the Hatter account. So now I can directly log into the system using the Hatter account. I don't always need to log in to the other accounts. But I can log into this account. I've logged in already. Now what I need to do is I need to find out a way to get to root. Okay, so because that is our main goal, getting to. So I need to get to root, and in order to do that, I'll have to look for other privilege escalation vectors. See what kind of approach I can take here to perform privilege escalation. Right, so Let's see. Okay, first I'll check through sudo hyphen password for hacker. Okay, so it says sorry, user had an open sudo on Wonderland. So we cannot anything with sudo here. So that's out of the question. So what we have to do is look for some other way. Now see, we have right sudo. We've seen there is no files here. We can also try to access shadow files. See if that gives us something more mentioned, right? And we already know that there's nothing to be done with sudo anyway, so that is also out of the question completely. There's nothing to be done with sudo. There's nothing to be done like that. Now, in such a case, okay, when you are not able to, okay, the next step, what I would have done is I would have tried to look for setuid files, but I wouldn't have found anything. So what I can do in this case is that in case I have not been able to figure out anything, any privilege escalation vectors, there are some scripts. And these scripts, what they do is you run them on the system, and when they run, when the scripts execute, it will tell you, it will basically compile a lot of information from you, and it will tell you what are the possible privilege escalation vectors on that system. So you can try those out and see for yourself what can be done. But you need to run that script on the target system itself. Okay, you cannot run it remotely. So that book needs to run on the target system. Remotely is not going to cut it. So now there are a couple of such scripts available. The one that has become kind of the standard, and I use that as well. That one is called linpiece. Okay, let me just show you what that is. I just go to the browser and piece. Search for linpiece. Out from the results that you get. Okay, just come to this. So piece is simply privilege escalation awesome scripts. So the person who created it has named it like that. So privilege escalation awesome scripts, and then okay, so there these scripts are available for Windows and Mac as well, but the one we need is for Linux. So go to you download the entire thing and just use this linpiece.sh. Now, of course, I cannot download it directly on the target system, right? So what I'll do is I have the script over on my system. I already have the script on my system. So I'll just transfer that over to target. So see if I go to desktop um, tools, yes, I have the file linpiece.sh over here. All I need to do is I need to transfer it to that system. So I can just create a simple Python server over here, or I can transfer it via netcat, whatever I prefer. So I create a Python server. Over here I say wget http, and I write my IP address and this linpiece.sh, that is unlock. And I read this script linpiece.sh. So you downloaded it now. I can come over here and close this. Now after this has happened, what I can do, I need to make it executable. I need to give it permissions. So chmod plus x, and now I need to execute it. So it's going to run, it's going to compile a little bit of information. This was trying to find out various things about the target. And once it has all that information, I will then be able to do that here. Okay, so that's finished. Let's take a look at the output. It starts here. There is a legend that says that if anything is highlighted in red or yellow, it's 99%. Privilege escalation vector, if it's red, you must take a look at it. The rest is not necessary. So it finds out a lot of basic information about the system, operating system, users and groups, host name, writable folders. A lot of things it tries to find out and gives you that information. System information, operating system, path variable, environment, and devices that might be connected, available software, processes. Now it highlights anything that it finds that belongs to root. So all these processes are owned by root. It does not necessarily mean that that's going to be a privilege escalation vector. Right? Just wherever it finds the word root, it's going to just highlight it. Binary process permissions again. Cron jobs. There's no cron jobs left to be used. Services. Lots of things it's going to figure out. Okay, like network information. Ports and stuff. My user, super users, root user, console. Software information. Search directories. Lots of things going to look for. Interesting files. So it's also going to check for setuid files like we've done, but it has highlighted some files, but these are just system files. So nothing to do there. Let's set group ID, SGID files. Okay, and then comes the section for capabilities. And on capabilities, there is a Perl executable that has the set UID capability set. Okay. So what capability is, basically capabilities are like permissions, but they are only for so executable files. Okay, so they're not exactly five permissions, they are like five permissions, and they exist only for executables, not for directories or any other kind of files. And basically, the permissions define what kind of kernel access any running process can have. So an executable will spawn a process. So what kind of kernel access that process has is defined by this capabilities. So this might be a privilege escalation vector. Let us check it out whether there is something that can be done. So what we do is Perl SecUID capability privilege escalation. Okay, so we search for whether there is a way to do that or not. So we get quite a few links. Let's try out the first one. So there's quite a few things here. So let's see if there's anything about capabilities. Okay, there is a section on capabilities. It says if the binary has the Linux cap setuid capability set, does it have that setuid? Let's check once again. Okay, it does have the setuid thing. All right. Or it is executed by another binary with the capability set, then it can be used as a backdoor to maintain privileged access. Okay, so privileged access is what we're looking for. Privilege as in privilege escalation is what our goal here is. So it says that we need to run this command. So Perl, let's think. So I'm just going to copy this as this. Try running it. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Okay, so it executed this bin sh. So we have spawned some kind of shell. Not sure whether we are root or not yet. Let's try with OMI. Okay, so we have a root shell. Privilege escalation is done. And now we're going to get the root flag. So where is the root flag? Where is the root flag located? On you've seen this already. No, don't remember. Okay. So the root flag was in the Alice directory, Alice users home directory. So we go there, cd home Alice dot exe. And we have the root flag now. So this system is done as well. Any questions here? No. Okay. So that's it for this machine. And as far as the machines that we're going to solve here are concerned, we are done. There is a sort of, the next one that we'll do. Actually, I'm not going to do it. You are the ones who will be working on the next machine. Sort of, it will give you an idea of what all you are, what all you have grasped and what areas you're having problems with. So it's not actually a test, but it's kind of, it will help you gauge your understanding of what we covered in the course. So that is what we are going to do in the next session. So make sure that at least one of you has your systems available, and then you can work on solving. If none of you have your systems available for solving, what I'll do is I'll share the screen, but you will have to tell me how to solve. Okay. So basically you will be doing the solving part. Yes, so that is what we'll be doing in the next session. Um, After that, we'll talk about reporting, report writing, and that will be the end of the course. So our next session will be on Monday. So that is on you.